Hey guys, welcome to Strongman Sunday. It's been a fun weekend of Strongman this weekend. There's been a bit going on.
Yes.
We actually got to watch live Strongman today and yesterday, which was really, really cool on national television in the UK. Obviously, for those of you that aren't in the UK, you may be able to watch it. They will show it on catch up on demand on Channel 5 on demand. However, for those of you that were in the UK, you could watch this live. It was 3 hours yesterday, 3 hours today, and I've got to say, I thoroughly enjoyed it.
I really enjoyed it, and there was something so novel about having it on the TV as it was happening.
Yeah, it was
very
good.
Exciting. Yeah, really enjoyed watching.
Anyway, how is everyone? I hope you've all had a great weekend. Let's see who we've got in the house.
I had someone here saying that they can't stay, but they just wanted to say what a success they thought it was in terms of production.
Definitely.
It's UK Strongest Man. Oh no, Calvin Jones, Strongman Sunday and arm wrestling. No. I've got a funny arm wrestling story to share this week, actually. But first, let's see who's here. Yeah, Elizabeth's here. Kelly's here. Cousin Fred is here. Autumn. Hello, everyone. Hello, hello.
Hey, guys. Hope you're all well.
People saying hello to each other. Hi, Sarah. Cousin Fred, straight off the bat, gifting memberships. Thank you very much, Fred.
Thank you very much. Hope you were doing well this weekend, Cousin Fred.
Thank you, Fred. You are too kind. Where are we? Let's see if we've got any questions in the chat. Is everyone just chatting to each other? They don't even need us anymore.
I know, they're just here, yeah.
And not even go on.
Hey, Toby, hope you're well, buddy.
Evening. And Fred in with the first super chat. Thank you, Fred. Good morning, afternoon, evening. All hope all is well. So who saw the Brian/Devon videos? Brian is going to pick this up quick. Presumably you've watched them.
I have watched them.
Of course you watched them.
I did watch the videos. And obviously Brian is a humongous strong man, gifted for arm wrestling. He's still got a lot to learn watching his videos, but you can see Devon thinks he's got a lot of potential. Clearly his strength, his structure is all going to be beneficial. I have spoken to Brian.
Yes.
Yeah, I spoke to Brian this week, and some exciting news regarding that. But I did mention about him and me having an arm wrestle.
Oh, did he reply?
He didn't accept the challenge.
Okay.
I think Brian's a very smart man, and he kind of needs to figure out where he is and how he's gonna.
He's not gonna want to commit to anything yet.
I mean, Brian, I train with the best heavyweight arm wrestler in the UK, and a number of other really good guys. I'm very lucky that on my doorstep is one of the best clubs in the country. So I've been lucky to progress quite quickly. And right now, my arm wrestling is not terrible. At first, when you just kind of go with that brute strength, there's so much to learn, and you can actually hurt yourself with brute strength. So at the moment, Brian needs to learn a bit more technique, but he is going to be very, very good. There's no doubt about that. And we've got some interesting arm wrestling videos that are collabed, sort of strongman arm wrestling crossover videos coming up.
Yes,
but you'll see. You'll see. It's just one.
Yeah, it's a fun one.
It is very much strongman related, so
yes.
It's just a fun one. But yeah, there's a lot of people from the strongman world kind of dabbling a bit with arm wrestling.
There's a lot of crossover between the two sports right
Rob
now.
Frampton, Lalas. Obviously, he's more originally was an arm wrestler, came into strongman.
Talks of Magnus Samuelsson coming back.
Samuelsson, yes. Who else? Janasha, he's been getting into it. A couple of other guys as well.
It's taking all of our people, but never mind. Andy.
It's actually taking our has-beens.
How rude. Speak
No.
yourself, Lozzy.
I am, and Brian as well. You know, Brian's a 4-time world's strongest man. He's not going to keep going on and winning with strongman titles, but he wants something to interest him. And as a competitive athlete like myself, you want things that you can still do.
Yeah.
Strongman, believe me, that gets hard.
Yeah.
Arm wrestling, you can go on for a long time. So for us guys that have done some strongman and still feel a bit competitive, it's something new and exciting to look at. And I'd love an opportunity to even just to collab with Brian and do some training together would be cool, especially on grip and arm wrestling.
Yeah. So Andy was asking about our thoughts on UK Strongest Man Live, and we are going to do a separate video about this early in the week because we think there's so much to talk about.
A couple of things. I mean, I'm really pleased, and I think it went well. I've seen some negative comments and I've seen lots of positive comments, and you get that with every competition. There is clearly things that can be better. There's things that can be tidied up. I've seen nitpicky things like the scoreboard was wrong. I've seen scoreboards wrong in every damn competition. I do think they shouldn't have started with the. In fact, I don't even think they should have done the bar bend.
Do you know what? I was excited to see the bar bend until I actually sat.
Do you remember watching me do the bar bend in competition?
Don't think I was there that day.
Okay. I've done the bar bending competition. And I said this before the comp. I think as an like I do it at schools and talks and stuff like that, and that's great. But it's not an event for a competition. And I think that probably was a bit of a boring start. However, once that was out the way, I thought the competition ran really, really well.
I think the car roll would have been the perfect opening event.
The car roll is just
because it's so
cool.
spectacular, and like to draw those people who are casually flicking through the channels. Oh, there's some strongman on.
You know, if I'm going to be real nitpicky, I think the tire was too heavy.
Some of the weights
of the competition,
off,
so maybe like a few selection things, but I thought the production was great. I thought Radzi as the presenter is brilliant. I thought Jamie Reeves and Lalas were great as analysis. I think it was really good, and I thoroughly enjoyed it. And we're going to do a big video on it this week.
Yeah. One more criticism: putting the damn harness on as part of the event
on the truck pull.
Yeah, that seemed, especially when you consider how close those top three guys were.
I think things like that just, it's not needed, is it?
It's not necessary. And presumably the harness has been pre-adjusted, so they're just clipping it and not having to do any adjustments. Because I know what a badly adjusted harness can do. 2019 World's Strongest Man, Loz is ready to do the truck pull, and you ended up being really, really rushed getting into the harness because rain was about to come, wasn't it? And it nearly killed you because it started
riding up into my diaphragm.
And you just couldn't breathe, and you went a terrible shade of purple, and you ended up on oxygen afterwards. So don't think that should really be part of it. But as a whole,
I thought it was a great comp. I thought the UK's team did a good job. And like I said, lots of positives from it. So,
let's talk results as well.
Paul Smith taking the win. I mean,
3-time win now.
You know, it's
Paul was very professional, wasn't he? He just did exactly what he needed to do on every event.
Paul knew the events in the finals were good for him. Very good for him. Really pleased to see Lewis Jack back.
Yes, and looking well,
looking strong. Andy Flynn looking really good as well.
He did really well.
So, some real good performances. And I genuinely enjoyed it. It was a good show to watch.
Very good. UK's was a really good comp to watch, says Toby, especially as we could watch it live. I wasn't a massive fan of the event selection, though, not going to lie. Do you know what? I actually really like the eliminator. I know duck walk is the devil.
It is the devil.
But I liked how they did a meter for every second to give that clear advantage to the guys that were closer to the final than the other guys. I mean, it ended up costing Paddy getting into the final because it was such a huge, it was like a 6 meter distance.
Paddy, I love Paddy, you know that. I still think Paddy's going to do awesome. England's Strongest Man. It was just one of those comps that didn't go his way. You know, the car flip made a small mistake. The bar bend. Well, the bar bend is just a really random event. It really is. So, you know, it was one of those things. A different day, different events could have been completely different. But he almost caught back up on that eliminator.
He did. Oh, and I'm sure if it had been another meter or two close, he would have taken it and been in the final. But shoulda, woulda. It's
exactly. You can't kind of it's done. You got to move on.
Toby could have done without the barn bending and tire flop. It did end up being a bit of a flop, that tire. It seemed way too heavy.
It was just too heavy. I guess better testing for the level of the competition is important.
How, thank you for the super chat. Happy to report that an orthopedic doctor confirmed I still have a partial tear in my quad tendon and scheduled me for an RPR and stem cell. PRP, sorry. And stem cell on Tuesday. Here's to a fully functioning knee again.
That's good. Hopefully that gets you back on your legs and training them ASAP.
Yes.
PRP and stem cell, both hard to get in the UK. In America, there's a lot of athletes that absolutely rave by it and say how good it is. So hope it goes well for you.
Victor's in the chat behaving. Hello, Victor. What were the results? So top 3 was Paul Smith, then Lewis Jack and Andrew Flynn.
For those that want to watch it, you can go on the on-demand, Channel 5 on demand, and it's up there already to watch.
And also, I think the full results are on strengthresults.com. Is that the correct name of the website? because Strongman Archives doesn't have all of the regional and national thing. It might be on there. I haven't checked, to be honest. It could be on Archives.
Yeah, if you check on strength results, they'll be on there.
Yeah. Callum, UK
Strongman results.
I think it's strength results. UK Strongest Man was awesome to be able to watch on live TV. What do you think of having a car flip and the day after having tire flips?
Yeah, I think I agree. There was a lot of bicep heavy events, and luckily we didn't see anything too bad. One athlete had a small bicep issue.
Yeah.
I can promise you he didn't totally tear his bicep because he continued the competition
and
your arm just wouldn't be working. So he's probably had a strain at worst, I would say, or some small muscle fibers. Hopefully he recovers. Well, he will recover very quickly from that. It's not a serious issue, but it could potentially have been a lot worse with those type of events.
Yeah.
The tire flip and the car flip technically are slightly different events, because the car, you actually lead in with your shoulder, whereas the bicep is much more, the tire is much more heavy on the biceps.
Yeah. Daniel, Eddie throwing those two idiots about.
Oh my God.
We're going to do a video about that as well, a bit of a reaction video.
I've seen the clips and I've seen a few things on YouTube.
It went exactly how we expected it to go.
Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't want to get hit by Eddie.
No.
Now, a guy that weighs about 70 odd kilos getting hit by him, there's only one way they're going once they get hit.
And that's down, yeah.
But the news that Eddie and Mariusz Pudzianowski might fight, that's quite exciting.
Yeah, and that's why because again, fighting is seeping into our sports. We're going to do a video.
I don't think Mariusz has responded.
No, apparently he said he's up for it.
Yeah, well, I know Mariusz was up for something like this when Thor and Eddie were fighting. So yeah, I think that would be quite a cool one. See two former world's strongest man winners going at it.
Darren wants to know how tiring bar bending is and would it affect the following events?
No. It's not too tiring, to be honest.
Rob, loved your video about 10 strongmen that disappeared. Thank you so much, Rob.
Thank you. And what we wanted to do with that video was put the feelers out there to kind of see how people reacted to it. There's been lots of positive comments about it, so we're probably going to do a part 2.
Yeah, because honestly, there's 100 guys you could have in that video. So people saying, what about Harold Haugen? We selected, it was quite calculated how we selected. We wanted to leave some other interesting stories out in case there was a part 2. You don't want to do all the good guys in one video.
Sometimes you do a video and you don't know if it's going to be good or if it's going to flop. And it's a video that you put a lot of effort into. I
do my best.
Luckily, it's doing pretty well. So if you guys are enjoying it, we'll do a part 2 for sure.
Look at this. This is lovely. Carl, good evening. Oh, I missed last week's live due to the birth of our daughter.
Oh, congratulations.
Ren Sampson, the newest member to Team Slug. Please thank my wife, Charlotte, for smashing it again.
Well done, Charlotte. Congratulations to all of you.
What lovely news. How nice. Get me all broody. Get Lozzie scared. Something about Taylor Swift. Mary, that Eddie fight was ridiculous.
When I first saw that guy get punched and he just went down like a sack of potatoes, I genuinely thought, Jesus, he might have killed him. Yeah, and luckily he's okay. I kind of had a look on the guy's Instagram page and he's kind of joking about
they're alive.
They're alive. So you can laugh about it.
Yeah.
But genuinely, Eddie hits hard. I don't know what they were thinking.
And I don't think he was hitting as hard as he could.
No,
he didn't need to.
If you watch the fight, obviously he hits that guy got hit hard, and then it continued 1-on-1.
Yeah.
And Eddie sort of they were just trying to run from him. So it was so pathetic in terms of a fight. And I know people real fighters. These guys weren't real fighters.
No, they're TikTokers.
They're just little. I don't know what they are. Little kind of annoying guys.
They could send their following after you. They've got 20 million people on TikTok.
I know. Luckily, I don't care for TikTok. So, but it was just, it was just weird. It was very, very odd. And I don't know what they expected to happen if they got hit or caught by Eddie.
I don't think it's any different to if me and my twin tried to fight Eddie. I think the outcome would be exactly the same.
Yeah.
unless you're a really serious fighter
if it was two Conor McGregors,
there's a totally different story. But if you're just a small person trying to fight,
the reality is Eddie's been training for fighting for the last 4 years.
Yeah, pretty much. Since 2020.
Okay, he's not a world champion fighter, but the guy trains hard.
And he's
a great
strong.
athlete.
And he's big.
He's ridiculously strong.
Yeah.
What did they think was going to happen?
Yeah. It's like, I don't know if any of you guys saw, we saw it on Instagram, this video of a big man fighting two women. And I was just horrified. I was like, they're going to be killed.
It's getting a bit ridiculous, some of these fights.
Like,
I would be genuinely excited to watch Marius and Eddie, because they both train fighting.
Yeah.
They're both big, strong men. Both former world's strongest man winners. That's a fairer fight.
It's a fairer fight, yeah.
So it makes more sense. Whereas, that man hitting those two women was just disgusting, to be quite honest.
Yeah. Is this actually Radzi? It says, Radzi here, live strongman on TV, concept proven, great figures in Channel 5 yesterday, hopefully today too, potentially a game changer. Oh, there we go. If that is
Radzi, then, hello, buddy. I hope you're well. And I thought you did an amazing job as always. And we enjoyed the show. It was great.
Radzi's so professional. I always feel like our sport's in safe hands when Radzi's on the mic.
He's just good at what he does, isn't he?
He is, yeah. You could chuck a camera in Radzi's face and ask him anything, and he's such a pro. Yeah. Like, nothing rattles him.
I think he could present for anything.
Yeah, he could. He's proven that. He does it all the time. He's the busiest man in the UK.
Yeah.
Loz, I have a sandbag throw coming up in August and have no experience of throwing, in addition to getting on a bag and actually throwing. What are some accessories that you recommend?
Kettlebell swings, pull throughs on some cables, just getting the hips firing. And if you can grab hold of a kettlebell or a sandbag to throw, it's going to be beneficial. Even more beneficial if you have something to throw over. Before I had anything nice in the gym, I went to a park, found a tree with a kind of a branch sticking out, and just threw it over that. But having something to actually throw over will help the trajectory. And just try and really work on using as much height as you can, so releasing up as high as possible.
Yeah, this is an interesting comment from Thomas, and something worth talking about, I think. I'm so glad it was good on TV. It's amazing for the sport. However, I went as a spectator and it was not good in the arena. No leaderboards on display, car hold aimed away from the spectators, odd choice. And this is a risk with it. You make it good for TV, maybe it's not so good for the in-person spectator, and then vice versa.
You have to kind of think about both.
You have to, yes, 100%. Like, I can't stand, like, there's not many competitions like it now, but when there's no leaderboard and in an arena or something, it riles me so much, because that's to me that should be simple. Yes, and that's part of the story of what you're watching. I need to know what's at stake here, like who's where.
You want to know how important an event is based on who's scored where they're placed.
It's why the competition's exciting. Like, the lifting's great, but you need to know what's happening.
It's like going to a football match or a basketball or whatever. The score. Yeah, and you want the countdown, so you know kind of how long they got left. You want to know the scores, and then it makes it interesting.
It's really important. Yeah. Oh, this is really weird. I don't have a like button anymore. Oh, I don't know about you guys, but YouTube, ours has changed how it looks.
Yeah,
it's very odd. We're not fans, are we?
No, like, but if you can like the video, make sure you do.
Please do. Yeah. Auntie Liz cares less about all this wrestling business. See it on her face. It's negatively impacting my life at this point, Mary. So the other day, we're led in bed in the morning, snoozing the alarm. I won't go into graphic detail. Loz is led on his back. I'm on my side. He's got his arm draped casually across my side. Suddenly, and I'm very ticklish, I feel in the side of my stomach, and I'm like, what's happening? And what were we doing that day?
I was dreaming about arm wrestling.
He was dreaming that he was arm wrestling.
I was like closing my fingers into it like this.
Yeah. Could have cracked a rib, honestly. Any danger money.
I'm terrible.
Nobody is. So many people have said to me, do you not feel vulnerable? You're not scared? Like, he's so much stronger than you. You'd have no. And I've always said, no, not at all. But now that's changed.
It's only when I'm asleep.
Yes. You did push me out of bed.
I did push you out of bed once.
In your sleep. Yeah. You thought I was someone else. Yeah. You pushed me out of bed. By my face. So,
I don't think it was by your face.
It was by my face. I remember your massive hand coming towards me. You don't forget a thing like that. Anyway, where are we? Hello, everyone. Sorry if you've just joined. Another domestic. Cousin with it, Fred. Hit that like button, even though he can't. Thank you, Fred.
Thank you, Fred.
Why are your normal videos so much darker than your lives? I don't know. Why are our normal? I can brighten up the normal videos if you're finding them too dark. We bought a new light because the old one was just...
The only thing I'll say is we use a camera for the videos and we use the camera on the laptop for the lives. So the quality usually isn't as good on these.
No, the quality, like the camera quality, is better on the normal videos, obviously. But
I always say, is it light enough? You're like, yeah, it looks great. Maybe we're kind of like, you're darkening it to make us look better. I don't know. That's probably what it is.
In the shadows.
Yeah.
Do you know what's actually quite tricky? What? Is the contrast between like your deeper skin tone and everything and my light hair and skin.
Go on holiday.
Like I sort of blow the camera out sometimes when I'm lighting you like with my face. I'm learning, guys. I can lighten it up if it's an issue. Oh gosh, Shannon, just chilling in my hospital room after neck surgery, watching Strongman Sunday.
Hope you're okay.
Hope you're doing okay. Hope you're being waited on and hand and foot. The graphics were pretty bad consistently, and it felt a little Gladiators, but I thought it was a good first effort. Yeah, I think overall it was good. I saw some criticism of like the buttons that they had to hit at the end. I loved it.
I think the buttons were fine. That's really not an issue. If people are complaining about them hitting buttons, the guys aren't doing that badly.
No,
I think no, and that's the thing. The way you got to look at it, there's things that do need tidying up, so the scoreboards, etc.
I mean, let's face it, we've seen some absolute horrors live, haven't we?
Oh, we have
some terrible things where, but this all works really smoothly.
I don't think I've ever seen a show that you said that was perfect. No. There's always things that even if it's a great show, you should want to improve on it.
Of course, yeah.
But you don't want to tear people apart for like minor little things.
Yeah.
It's I thought for the first time they've put on a live show, it was good, very good.
Yeah. Rick can't wait for Eddie versus Marius.
That will be fun. Did you just belch?
No.
Yes, you did.
No, a little bit of air was coming up. Stop it.
Auntie Liz.
Do you know what? It's the gourmet sabzi I ate earlier. We went to Mama Shahlei's house for dinner today. A birthday treat for me.
Birthday treat for you.
But slightly belated one, obviously. But yeah. Shannon, thank you for the super chat. Hey guys. Oh, Shannon's just super chatted.
Thank you very much.
Thank you very much.
I hope you are recovering well after that. And thank you for joining us.
With your feet up. The Eliminator I quite enjoyed, but I'm a psycho that likes a duck walk, even to train. Sue me. Toby.
You can have more of it in your training.
Someone kick him off the chat.
Do you know what? Like if it was just the way that was, it would have been fine for me. What I hate is like long distance kind of duck walk. Just one implement, that's fine.
That was quite a long distance.
And it's very hard. It's very hard to catch someone up.
Yeah.
Just with one implement.
Which goes to show how good Paddy was on that event.
Yeah, but you should have that advantage if you're ahead of people.
No, I agree. I liked it. Yeah.
I mean, I'm not a huge fan of eliminators and stone offs and stuff like that, as you know. I like it as a tiebreaker. But tiebreaker is different. But when someone is so far ahead of someone on points and they might not get through, that's good to me. Yes, Robert. So we did talk about it briefly earlier, the Eddie Hall fight. We've seen it, and we're going to do a separate video about it because, there's some interesting things going on. It needs its own video for sure.
Did you have any athletes at the UK's, Leslie?
Yes, Matt Diamond, and I was really impressed with his day one performance. Matt's not had much luck the last sort of 6 months. He's had a lot of personal stuff going on. I thought it'd be hard for him to make the final this year. He did really well day one. Yeah, he was amazing. Weaker events, he has an issue locking out his elbow, so dumbbell is the worst overhead. It's such a shame because he put it up maybe 5 or 6 times. And look, Terry's refereeing was great. I thought he got all the calls right. Yeah. But Matt's, I think he was still 5th or 6th in the end, so it wasn't too bad at all. Alejandro, thank you for the super chat. Hicks 340 kilos front squat was amazing. Deadlift championships will be interesting. Also, RIP Eddie if you face Marius. I don't know. I think it's going to be closer than people think. Marius has a lot more experience, but Marius is 50 years old. Is he that old? Yeah. He's got to be close to it. No, I'm certain he's 50 already. He's much older than Eddie. I know that. Eddie's not a bad fighter. And he's the stronger. He's definitely stronger. Yeah. How much that is an advantage isn't, it depends. Against a pro fighter. Yeah, but he's training with some good people. Eddie is. I don't think it's like completely one-sided.
No, I don't.
I think Marius probably would go in as the favourite based off his experience.
I think so,
but I certainly wouldn't say it's like 100% that Marius wins.
No, because the
like
thing
one
is,
punch against guys like that. I mean, you saw Eddie knocked Thor down when they boxed.
Yeah.
You know, he's got some serious power. And I actually think MMA probably will suit him more than just boxing. Because if he gets on top of someone with some good training.
El Press Cat, Loz would win that fight with the two brothers. Well, yeah.
I should bloody hope so.
I might.
I'm a former British champion at Kung Fu. If I couldn't beat them, I would be very disappointed in myself.
Yeah.
I think pretty much any, like, as long as you can catch them.
Yeah.
They're not fighters. You know, I've been in the ring with proper boxers, and that's a bit different. But
I reckon I could beat one of them up.
I think, I don't think there's much difference between two Liz's and them two.
Dearie me. Okay, Marius is 46.
I didn't think he was 50, but
yeah. No, Dara, I don't have a twin, but just like if I did, you know.
You got a sister?
Yeah.
There we go.
There we go. She's not as scrappy as me. I need an equal. With Devon and Brian's arm wrestling video, I would love a collab with you, Devon, Brian, Lallis, and Samuelson on the table.
That would be cool.
What an event and spectacle that would be.
Said you found Shaw's latest podcast with Eddie Williams. Yeah, it was an interesting one. I actually watched that one.
Yeah.
Lots of stuff that I already knew, but hadn't been publicly announced in that video. Very interesting.
Yeah, no, it was a good chat between them. Someone saying Eddie has youth and strength on his side, puts his more fighting experience. I'd honestly be interested. I would be interested.
It's a lot more balanced than people probably think.
A lot more balanced than Eddie and those two brothers, anyway.
Yeah.
2019 World Strongest Man was great TV, and it blew for the spectators. Yeah. That wasn't a very spectator-friendly one. It
wasn't a very Loz-friendly one.
No, it wasn't. No,
I don't like that.
2019.
Yeah.
Sorry, Martins. It's not you, it's us. Oh, Daryl, Liz, you buried the lead. You have a twin. No, I don't, Daryl. I do have sisters, but not a twin. No. Cousin Fred, if Eddie swung at me, I would go down immediately. So, just play possum. I would too.
You certainly wouldn't want him connecting. I promise you that.
I'd be doing what the brothers did. I'd be running for my life.
To be fair to Eddie, with the second one, when he got him down, he didn't hit him that hard. He was just sort of waiting for the referee to stop it. Like Eddie could have hurt him.
Oh yeah, but he didn't need to. No. He clearly won. Get that pronation, Loz. You arm wrestling me in your sleep. Ha ha ha. He thought you were someone else in bed. Exactly. What is the next competition that you're looking forward to the most?
I'm looking forward to lots of competitions because we've got quite a few things coming up. I mean, we've got England's Strongest Man and Britain's Strongest Woman is the next event we're at. Then we've got the Royal Albert Hall.
Yeah.
Then
I would say the most though. The most. I've got two.
Okay.
Vegas.
Yeah.
And Strongest Man on Earth. They're the two I'm most looking forward to for the rest of this year. Yeah. Vegas, just for the spectacle of it. And also the accumulation of all this deadlift training and talk. And then Strongest Man on Earth, obviously, is just such a huge competition. We're going to get to see Thor there again.
Yeah.
Lots of events, really interesting challenges. Yeah. What about you?
I'm very much looking forward to both of those.
Yeah.
Also the Rogue Invitational.
Yeah.
But I would say those two. Right now, definitely.
Yeah. Jesus, Loz, how different does Liz look when she's taken on the makeup for bed?
Just like someone completely different.
Oh, dear. What do you think is the highest ever deadlift that can be pulled by a human?
I don't know.
It's so hard to say, isn't it?
Yeah. Let's just see where things go.
Yeah.
There's lots of variables to that because equipment has changed over the years. If we kind of say Bill Kazmar lifted on the same bars as the guys lift now, was allowed to use straps, etc., he'd probably have lifted more as well. And we don't know what advancements will come from equipment, but things will progress.
When losing weight, should you expect to lose strength, i.e. on bench press, squat, deadlift, rather than weight-based events like the bus pull?
Yes, in general, if your weight's coming down, you're going to lose strength. There are variables once again. Depends how much weight you've lost, depends how fat you are. that's a big factor, because if you are morbidly obese and you lose body fat slowly, you can actually get stronger. But for the most part, yeah, if you're in a calorie deficit, then you are going to get a little bit weaker. I've actually got stronger in the last 12 weeks losing weight, but my strength level is so far down from my peak strength that it's not quite the same as, you know, if I was just kind of going from the starting point. I tend to, my body responds quite quickly to training. So I've put some muscle on and I've been keeping my protein intake extremely high, but I'm eating much better food. Whereas before I was eating more just sugar and crap.
Yeah.
So I've been able to get stronger whilst dropping some body weight, and I haven't dropped a huge amount of body weight. But you can put a little bit of strength on, but if you really want to get strong, you're going to need to be in a slight surplus is the best place to be, because then you're going to minimize putting on fat. If you kind of just eat too much, yes, you'll get stronger, but you may find your performance as a strongman goes down, your body function becomes worse, and you actually can get worse in a lot of events as well. So just be mindful. A lot of people make the mistake of seeing how much, say, Eddie ate in his prime and thinking, I'm a beginner, I've got to do that. And I've had a client recently like that who thought he should be eating 15,000 calories a day. And clearly you shouldn't be eating 15,000 calories a day. And we had a chat and I said, if you keep doing that, you're going to have a heart attack and be a very bad athlete. And he's learning and he's dropping weight fast, and he's actually becoming a better all-round athlete in a short period of time.
Say happy birthday to Linda. She turned 58 yesterday.
Happy birthday, Linda. I hope you had an amazing day. You shouldn't have even said your age. Who cares about the number?
Who else's birthday was it? No, it wasn't Rauno's yesterday. Terry's was on the 6th. It's a busy month for birthdays.
Yeah, it was yours on Tuesday.
Yeah, and Benny Magnuson. On the 6th, it was Terry's. On the 7th, it was Rauno's.
And we've got our anniversary coming up.
Yes, it's our wedding anniversary on Friday. How nice. We're actually doing something.
We're going to do something, yes.
How lovely. Jason, thank you for the super chat. Do you have any advice to improve my deadlift off the floor? I just switched from hex bar deadlift and I'm finding I have no power off the floor.
The hex bar is much easier to lift because you're in a centered position. You're kind of in the middle of the bar rather than having the bar in front of you. Without seeing technique, some of the things that can help: deficit deadlifts, leg press is actually really good for helping certain lifters off the floor, speed deadlifts. But again, your start position is really important. What a lot of people do, they lose their hip position. Their hips shoot up and the bar comes off the floor, but then they lose positioning for lockouts. You want to try and maintain your positioning, focus on driving as hard as you can off the floor. Maintain your positioning, and then the lockout will be strong as well. But getting your legs strong helps massively off the floor. It does vary based on leverages, but try leg pressing, try slight deficit deadlifts, try speed work. They're three of my favorite things to go for improving that power off the floor.
Alejandro with another super chat. Thank you. Video idea: powerlifting-esque totals, but with strongman and events of your choice choosing, i.e. axle, deadlift, log. No doubt Eddie would have the highest total. I really like that idea, actually.
Yeah, that's cool.
Can't really include squat because so few people have done a max squat in competition, but to look at all the top guys and add up some of their biggest, more common lifts in strongman, that would be fun. Yeah, definitely. We'll definitely add that to the list. We have a long list, which is good. Daryl, got my tickets for Vegas, going to book the hotel soon, hoping there's a large Loz Liz crew showing up too. I'm so looking forward to Vegas.
Definitely.
Yes.
Yeah, we were talking about it today, weren't we?
Yeah, because we want to stay for a few days afterwards, don't we? And have a little soiree. No, Rick, no need to sing. Callum with the members comment. 19, well done on the weight loss, Loz. Any advice
for weight loss?
Months. Yeah.
Hey, thank you for being a member for so long, Callum. Firstly, discipline and organization. My biggest issue is if I'm not kind of prepared. I make sure I'm sort of like, when I'm in a routine, I'm great, aren't I?
Yeah.
It's when I come out of my routine or miss a meal or stuff like that, that's when I'm like hungry and I want to eat everything. So I just make sure, even if I do come out of schedule, like I'm not trying to be a bodybuilder, I'm not trying to compete on stage or do anything like that. So I still want to enjoy a life. So basically I have a structured plan that I stick to 90% of the time. And every every morning I will start off with my normal breakfast. I'll have my normal meals. The other day we went out for a meal for Liz's birthday. Today we went to my mum's for a meal. But then, tomorrow morning it's right back on to how it should be. My meals are kind of going to be, I usually go shopping on a Monday morning. We get food in for the week, and then it's planning the meals, making sure they're prepared. And I'm really boring. I have a plan for training days and a non-training day plan. And I don't change it that often. We make small changes periodically based off how I'm progressing. So if weight isn't coming off, then we'll look at reducing some food in certain areas. But having that baseline of something to follow and following it for a few weeks or a month will then give you a good understanding of where you need to make changes. So if you're not losing weight, you think, right, I need to reduce calories. If you are losing weight, you can kind of stick to where you're at. If your performance in the gym's going down, you can kind of look at things and improve. So it's understanding you're doing things slowly. A lot of people make the mistake when losing weight. They lose 6-7 kilos very, very quickly, not really understanding that that's just water weight and bloat. It's not fat that you're losing those first few weeks.
Don't be so hateful and hurtful.
I'm not being hateful or hurtful. I'm being completely honest.
You're hurting our feelings.
I'm not, because I'm a fat guy. I can lose 10 kilos in 2 weeks. But you don't change much. You just become a smaller version, a little bit less bloated.
Yeah.
And then you eat crap again and you're back up to where you are.
Yeah, go straight
so
back
I've
on.
only lost 6 kilos in 12 weeks. But it's been slow, sustainable weight loss, and I'm still.
You can see that difference in your body
physically.
composition.
You can see it.
Yeah.
And I want to continue that, but I want to enjoy my life as well. I don't want to step on stage.
Don't be a slave to it. And speaking of stepping on stage, can't I leave it asking your thoughts on Terry deciding to chuck competitive bodybuilding? He took it seriously, competed on stage, and transformed his body.
I think it's a smart move for Terry. I think Terry's done an amazing job. His transformation was absolutely brilliant. But Terry needs to focus on his business, and Terry is never, and this is no disrespect to Terry because I'm good friends with him and I'm sure he will agree, he's never going to be a pro bodybuilder. He's got too many muscle tears to start with. He's such a tall man that it would take so much sacrifice to try and get to where he'd need to be.
To fill the frame.
Yeah, his frame is just massive. He's 6'5", 6'6". He's a very, very tall man. And there's way better guys that aren't pro bodybuilders, and he's in his 40s. It would sacrifice health. People think, oh, he's looking, it's probably more unhealthy to push to be a competitive bodybuilder than it is to be a pro strongman. I'm sure some of you understand what I'm saying there. But just to live a healthy lifestyle, to look good, he looks great. So that's his selling point. Yeah. He doesn't need to compete as a bodybuilder for a plastic trophy.
No, and honestly, it's such a toll, isn't it?
Yeah, and this is like myself as well. Like, I don't want to compete in bodybuilding. People are, oh, you're getting in shape, you're going to do bodybuilding. No, I just love training. I think some people see people now within the fitness industry and think you've got to be doing something. There's nothing wrong with playing football on a Sunday league just because you enjoy playing Sunday league football or you enjoy playing football. I enjoy training, so I'm always going to train for something. And I want to look good, firstly, for myself. I want to feel better and physically feel better in myself. And I do when I'm a bit fitter and a bit lighter. It's good for business in terms of just looking good. Yeah. And I love training. So if I don't train for something, I'll be bored out of my brain and a miserable prick.
It'd be a nightmare. I'm going to answer this one for you, Marco, because it could cost them their livelihood if promoters for the competitions and their sponsors look at them and say, oh my God, this guy is a massive liability. We don't want to be associated with this person. Then boom, they're out. Yeah. Is the simple
I'm actually really open about things to clients and stuff like that. And I've even mentioned things online. But yeah, you're asking people to
risk everything,
a paycheck for a lot of them, potentially get turned away from competitions. Yeah. So it's a difficult thing. It's something that there certainly needs a lot of educating on because people are absolutely clueless and doing ridiculous things that they shouldn't. Like, I personally think novices shouldn't even be allowed to use gear. It's just something I genuinely believe that, because there's novices taking more than pro athletes just to compete for a plastic trophy. And they're risking their health, their lives and stuff like that. Yes, the top guys do stuff, but you have to understand the risk versus reward. And it would be nice if people can kind of come and be completely open and honest, but then they lose roles that maybe put meals on the table for their family.
Yeah.
You know, I've lost roles for just being open and honest and stuff, and I'm less concerned about it because I'm not a competitive athlete anymore.
Yeah.
But for the guys that are still competing, it's very, very difficult.
Trent with the members comment here saying, thanks for the successful comp weekend, coach.
Well done, buddy. I hope you are good. He's been a member for 6 months as well. Thank you, Trent.
Yes. Hey, Loz and Liz, have you seen Strongman Historian on YouTube ranking every Strongman event? I would like to see yours take on it. I haven't seen it, but I will make an effort to go and watch it and see if we agree. I'd be interested to see where he puts duck walk, because I know where it comes to. Fred, thank you so much again for gifting more memberships.
Mr. Hicksy is in the house.
Where is he? There he is. Graham.
How are you doing, buddy? Hope you're well.
Video about Graham yesterday.
We did.
Looking very strong.
Ridiculously strong already.
Action man, as we now call him. Graham, are you coming to England's in a couple of weeks? He might come.
Yes.
Looking stupidly strong, Graham. Oh, everyone greeting Graham now. The big question I haven't heard asked yet. Loz, did you remember to pull over to sign the young lad's shirt?
I did indeed.
Well done.
Yes.
I sent him out with a Sharpie just in case the boy didn't have anything. I was like, don't forget that boy.
I didn't forget, yes.
Well done, Lozzie. You're a good egg. Kevin, yes, did Loz sign Elliot's shirt? Oh yeah, the shirt. The shirt is big
Bless
news.
him.
I don't think he's in the chat today. He's got his shirt.
He's got his shirt now. He's not watching. Elliot, where are you?
Oh dear. Where are we?
Everyone's talking about Elliot.
I know. So funny.
Yes, Andrew is completely right. And I 100% agree with this. There's a huge difference between looking good and bodybuilding show level. I train with two extremely dedicated bodybuilders. And if I went and said that I was going to do a bodybuilding comp, they'd laugh at me.
Yeah.
And I wouldn't anyway. You know, at the moment, I'm so far away from being stage ready.
Yeah.
And then there's a big difference between just doing a bodybuilding comp and being a pro bodybuilder. To be a pro bodybuilder is extremely hard, like it is to be a pro strongman. Yes, I could go and compete in a bodybuilding show, and I could potentially win because you can find a class that nobody else is in.
Yeah.
But to be elite level at something is completely different. And I've spent years being elite level in a sport, so I know how much effort and, you know, determination and sacrifice it takes. And I don't want to do that anymore. And bodybuilding isn't what I'm gifted at. I was gifted at strongman, carrying awkward shit and fast and lifting heavy weights. I could still beat, you know, 90% of people out there that compete in shows. I'm not talking pros, but like, you know, good guys that compete. And I'm telling you, I'm past it. And I train exceptionally hard and can still destroy loads of people. The top guys are so good in all sports: bodybuilding, arm wrestling, strongman, football, athletics, tennis, whatever it is. Doing something just because you do it because you enjoy it, and doing it as a pro is a very, very different thing.
Yeah. Marco with the bad take here. Bodybuilding hasn't suffered for the honesty about steroid use. It's a bit of a lame excuse to say it will affect their livelihood. LOL.
How do you know this? You know nothing about the way strongman works.
No.
You don't know. Like,
we know the promoters and the sponsors, and we are telling you it would affect them, which is why they don't talk about it. You can just say that's rubbish. You don't have a better reason than that. So that's the reason.
Yeah. If people are telling you,
we're not making that up,
you're not going to be invited to this show, or you're not going to be able to work on this show, then understand I know what I'm talking about because I speak to these people.
Yeah. And if you're not going to accept the answer, why ask the question?
And there's guys that, you know, you could go down the other route where you do talk about it. And yes, you may build up a real big following, and you can make a lot more money maybe through YouTube or stuff like that. But you also, you know, alienate yourself from the sport that maybe you want to be involved with and enjoy. So for me, the sacrifice to just make money isn't enough. I love strongman.
Yeah.
I love what I do. If you make money, that's great. But to me, I want to enjoy what I do. And it's not just about, you know, just about the paycheck.
Eric asking, which shows you attending this year as a pure spectator? That's a hard one to answer because sometimes we think we're going as spectators and then Loz ends up doing something.
Yeah.
But we're definitely going to England's Strongest Man and Britain's Strongest Woman in 2 weeks' time. We're going to all of the Giants lives, including the one in Vegas, whether we're invited or not.
To be honest, we're probably going to the Rogue just as a spectator.
Yeah. Slash coach, in your case.
Mm-hmm.
There is a good chance we're going to Strongest Man on Earth this year.
There is.
Like a 90% chance at this point. So that's probably happening. What else? We might be going to the Strongman Champions League in Estonia.
We might be. Yes. Yeah. That will be just as a spectator.
That would be just as a spectator. I think that's it.
Yeah, there might be a couple of... I might go to Chaos's comp.
Yeah, in September. Yeah, so that would be a good one too.
There's a fair few.
So quite a few, yeah. Where are we? Levi, 31 months of Loz and Liz life. Hello all. Bless you.
You legend.
Thank you. And it's Levi's birthday next Saturday.
How do you remember these things?
Because he told me. And Graham is going to be there all day. Lovely. We look forward to
buddy. We'll see you there.
Good. Loz and Liz, what are the 8 worst? Eight worst strongman events. Trying to think of the least fun or entertaining. Well, I'd now put bar bending on that.
I find events like the front hold boring. I'm actually really good at it, but I find it boring to watch.
Front hold, Hercules hold are pretty boring.
Hercules hold is good once it sort of gets deep into it, but for the first 30-40 seconds,
it's a bit boring. Yeah, I don't think I could come up with 8 worst.
Like throwing events can be boring to start with,
especially for max height weights. Yeah. There we go. We gave you like 3 or 4. Loz, what is the downfall, if any, of not eating before training? I get very sluggish if I do eat. Maybe you're eating too much. Maybe you're eating too much. Maybe you're eating too soon to training. Maybe try having a food a little bit further away, or eating slightly less. It's not going to impact training that much, but you need to make sure your nutrition is as on point as possible to maximize performance. For some people, they might have to eat a lot more than others. Some people, if their training sessions are extremely long, having some kind of intra-workout drink is going to be beneficial just to keep energy levels up. But I've done plenty of sessions where I haven't eaten before as well. I try not to get too obsessed with having everything to be perfect. Sometimes you just got to get a session done. That consistency over time is going to be more beneficial than anything else. But obviously, nutrition is hugely important. Marco, again, do you honestly think that any sponsor involved with Pro Strongman doesn't know the athletes are on steroids? Of course they know. They're not stupid. Right. But knowing and that athlete openly talking about it and drawing potentially negative attention to that sponsor are 2 totally different things. I really don't understand why this is so difficult.
Thank you, Malcolm.
There you go.
I can be nice.
I can't. Yeah, no, you are nice. Especially to a young lad.
Lots of people watching Graham's stuff. Someone asking, do you think 550 deadlift is possible, and who is your number 1 man to do it? Right now, I don't think anyone's pulling 550. It might be possible in the future, but let's just focus on one target at a time.
Yeah. No one's
505 is the next target.
Yeah. No
550 is a big jump from that.
Yeah, huge jump.
Yeah.
So when is your next arm wrestling and your take on show getting into?
Sure. Potentially in a couple of weeks, I might have an arm wrestling match. I haven't told you that, but
no.
I may have a super match in July. A take on Shaw getting into it is great. I think Brian Shaw wanting to do anything is that he wants to do. He's an amazing athlete, but it's going to take time for him. Like people talking about him beating Levin, I think he has Shaw potential and doing it completely different. I don't think he'll ever beat Levin. That's my opinion. I think Brian is too busy. I think he's got too many, other things that will take up too much of his time. I think if Brian started at 20 and had the same discipline that he put into Strongman for those years, yes, I think Brian could be the best arm wrestler of all time. However, Brian has done 20 years of Strongman. He's built up a reputation. He's got a family. He's got businesses. He's got a competition to run. There's a lot going on. Yeah. I don't think he will be able to put the effort in to be that level. But I do think he can be very good. And if he does it and enjoys it and trains hard at it, he can certainly, do well.
Loz, Bill is asking if you ever met Fleming Rasmussen.
Only on a Talking Strongman.
Oh yeah, you did.
I did a Talking Strongman with him. I didn't get a chance to meet him in person, but we have had a chat.
Loz, how would you train in the gym for a vehicle pull, like with a harness?
A sled is good. If you've got like a prowler or a sled, that would be your sort of best bet. I would focus on like high rep squats or leg press just to get used to the endurance aspect of your legs kind of blowing up with lactic acid. Train your calves as well. But if you can grab a sled or a prowler and practice being in the position to really drive the hips down and kind of get your feet, always try and keep your feet, your toes and knees in line with each other. A lot of people you see when they're doing a truck pull, their toes turn out to the side. Try and keep them flat to the ground, kind of driving forwards. It's going to be much more beneficial in terms of technique. There's nothing better than having a vehicle to pull. Out of the gym, doing a car push is really good. And if you do have a harness, then a pull as well. But just pushing a car, pushing a prowler, all going to help in terms of learning the movement.
Austin, I don't want you at the strongest man on earth. I want the watch along. There's a 10% chance you get it still, Austin. Sorry. Monica's here. Ooh, I may see you in Colorado. Right now, it's a maybe for me.
It's a maybe for us at the moment, but we have been speaking to Brian, haven't we?
Yes,
well, I have.
Yeah, you have. Obviously not me. People saying their worst events. John, I just like bar bending. Jane, front hold is the worst.
I love bar bending. I think it's really cool as a strength feat. Just like I think the nickel stones, the Dinny stones are really cool as a strength feat. I don't necessarily think those are the best strongman events for a competition.
Yeah. Thor's hammer, any kind of hold. Atlas stones have gotten boring. Come to Sweden Strongest Man 2024 as well. I would love to. Sweden's one of those countries I really want to visit.
We'd want to go to Sweden. You've never been, have
No,
you?
I haven't. And I really think I'd like it. And
I'm sure you would.
Yes, I would.
I like holds as well. Like any kind of grip hold, stuff like that. I enjoy them, but I think they can be boring to watch.
Yeah. George, I got my tickets for Brian's show. I live 5 miles from the venue. If you need a chauffeur when you're here, I'd love to have. Oh, bless you.
Thank you very much.
They opened a Buc-ee's 8 miles away. Wow. That's gone up to a 95% chance that we're coming now. Love a Buc-ee's. How is Erin Murray doing as a new client? She's such a cool, strong woman.
Erin is awesome. She had a couple of like injuries that we've kind of had to deal with just coming into training. So we're just trying to deal with them best we can. That's stuff that she's had pre to kind of joining me. So we're just kind of figuring out the best way to, because she's got some comps to train for now, how we can kind of best go about things. But she's a brilliant person to train and really enjoy
hard work.
Just getting to know her. She's a cool person. I'm loving seeing her enjoy her training and enjoy strongman at the moment, because I think for a little while it was just a bit too serious, and she seems to just be happier and in a good place. So yeah, looking forward to seeing what we can do together.
Everyone is afraid of Loz, but Liz is the real mean one, says Malcolm.
Absolutely.
Only in the car. Loz is like, oh, you calm down. Arm wrestling is far more boring than front hold, says John. Not in 1995 World's Strongest Man, it wasn't. It's very exciting. Can't wait to see a wedding photo. Yes, so those who don't know, Monica and Magnus Magnuson are getting married on Sunday the 23rd, I think it is. Correct me if I'm wrong, Monica, but I think it is. So we look forward to pictures too. Hedgehog, thank you for gifting a membership. I've always called him Ver. I don't know why though. It is Ver, isn't it? Magnus Ver.
Yeah.
I like bar bending, but not around the neck. It scares me, says Kelly.
Someone says Team Landshark on the stream. The Landshark is being very well behaved today.
Yeah, perfectly timed nap today.
Yeah,
Thank goodness.
Just asleep on the rug in front of us.
Yeah.
And she was between us earlier, so
she was.
She's been a good girl.
Yeah. Loz, what 6 events would make up your perfect strongman show?
I think I get asked this on a weekly basis. I never know. My sort of choice changes all the time based on how I'm feeling. Or
vehicle pull.
I would have a calf flip. I think it's a cool event.
Okay, vehicle pull, calf flip.
Yoke, I would have, because it's for me.
All right. You've only got...
I would have a frame carry or farmers.
Okay, so something grippy. Deadlift.
Yeah.
Would you not have an overhead?
Yeah. You'd have to have like axle or Viking.
Can we have 7 events? Because I'd put in natural stones as well.
There you go.
There we go.
Maybe a throw as well. Then you've got an 8 event competition. That'd be pretty cool.
Perfect. There we are. We've done it. I've done everyone. Congratulations to Paul Smith on his 3 consecutive wins. What makes this comp seem so much better for him as opposed to when he does a Giants live? Cheers.
Can I be absolutely honest?
The standard.
Yes.
Yeah. I don't think that's a secret. I think everyone would agree with that.
That's the honest answer. The standard is lower at this competition. That doesn't mean it's not a tough competition, and Paul is exceptionally good. Like, Paul's really smart. He does enough to make the final, saves energy, and then performs really, really well. And Paul is a great strongman.
Yeah.
You know, I've seen him do well in lots of comps, but against the very top guys, he's just got a couple of weaknesses. But at that level, it just really suits him. Yeah.
Liz, have you ever been to Poland? You guys should visit Mateusz and get some toffee donuts.
We should go and see.
I've never been. I mean, I've been to the airport, but that doesn't count. We've got a connecting flight in Poland. I would love to go to Poland.
Yeah.
Like, I want to go to every European country.
Yeah.
Eventually.
As the little one starts to get older,
it will be easier for us. Yeah. Yeah. And toffee donuts with Mateusz in Poland are like a bucket list type thing, aren't they?
Yeah.
It has to happen.
Cat wants me at 5%. I'll be happy at 10, 15, 20.
Imagine Loz at 5%.
I don't even care about a body fat percentage. Like I said, I train with a couple of bodybuilders, and they talk about having ripped glutes and stuff like that. I'm like, dude, if I can see a faint outline of some abs, I'm happy.
Yeah. Top ab.
A vein in my bicep, and like a faint outline of abs. Yeah. That's it. I'm looking great.
Oh, goals.
There's a very big difference between what some people think is lean and what pro bodybuilders think is lean.
Yeah, I got the date right. Thanks, Monica. Never forget a date. Oh.
Do you think Hafthor is capable of 530 deadlift with a suit?
So hard to
say. I think when he went for the 501, he was capable of
510?
somewhere around the 510 to 520, maybe even more. Who knows? It's so hard to say because you can make a lift look easy, and 5 kilos can make a big difference. So it's a very, very difficult. You know, there's certain lifters that are explosive, so they lift very aggressively and very fast. There's other lifters that kind of grind reps out, and it's hard to really tell. You know, I've seen people make 400 look easy, and then 410 they can't budge it off the floor. So without pushing him to the absolute limit and seeing what that point is, it's difficult. But that day that he pulled 501, he certainly had a bit more in him.
Bill, I'm guessing that first word is supposed to be Liz. You love strongman very much and know a lot about it. Was that even before you met Loz? No, it's only since I met Loz. But we have been together 12 years. So strongman has been a huge part of my life as well for 12 years.
Like Liz actually gets more excited about watching live, like the live strongman that was on. She was more excited than I was.
I was like, put it on.
Because I was at the gym yesterday and you were kind of sending me results.
So. I was, yeah. Oh, I genuinely love it. I'd watch it without you now. Yeah.
You do,
Yeah, of course. Yeah. No, I'm very invested in the sport now. But
and obviously, you know, we've got a lot of friends involved in the sport. And I guess that sort of makes
it from a personal perspective. It's odd, actually, like knowing everyone so well and because you're just so personally invested in everyone's performance.
And Liz gets quite emotional about it, whereas I'm not. Like if someone messes up the competition, I think you messaged Paddy yesterday, didn't you?
Of course I messaged Paddy.
Because like, you know, we both like Paddy and you know, you want to make sure he's okay. Whereas I'm like, look, he's an athlete. He's had a bad result. It'll be fine. Liz is like, oh, are you okay?
Like that. Don't be ridiculous, Lizzie. I'll tell you what I messaged.
You don't have to tell anyone anything. I'm just saying, like, I think because I competed in so many competitions and I've placed everything from first to last. And when you get to the end of your career, you look back and you realize you learn from those bad results. The great results are great, but you know, I don't regret any of it because it kind of got me to where I was.
Yeah.
And, you know, I've had amazing results. I've had bad results. I think too many people are scared to compete because they're scared of not winning.
Yeah, maybe.
And I think that's a mistake. I think you got to just get yourself in there.
Of course.
And if you do have a bad result,
you're going to learn from it.
it.
Yeah. But in my defense, as a strongman's wife of 12 years, I know how in the moment, how devastating it can be because I lived with you.
Yeah, but I was never bad because I lost.
No.
I would be bad if I got hurt or something like that.
Yeah, or made a mistake.
Yeah. If someone beat me because they were better than me, it was never an issue.
But when you haven't fulfilled your potential, so I know how upsetting that is.
Yeah.
Right, you've scrolled past loads of stuff.
No, I haven't.
Leighton with the members comment. Congratulations, Monica and Magnus. Yes. How exciting. Can't I leave?
No,
he doesn't.
So he doesn't.
No.
He will be competing at England's Strongest Man in a few weeks,
which is the qualifier. So the only way he can guarantee that spot at Giants is by qualifying through England's. There's a chance if he didn't officially qualify, then he could get like a wild card entry. But no, there's no affiliation at all. No.
I think that's one of the downsides to the UKs is it leads to the UKs and that's it. That's the finishing point. Whereas Britain's Strongest Man obviously goes on to the Giants live shows, World's Strongest Man. And at the moment, those are the big shows. But the UK, like I've competed in the UKs and I've said many times, it's a tough competition. It really is. They used to do 3 days. This year it was 2 days.
Yeah, they adapted it this year to make it more TV friendly.
But still, it's a tough comp. Very, very heavy. Glenn likes heavy events. Like you said, that tire flip was so heavy. A number of the athletes didn't even flip it once.
Yeah.
So it's a deadlift. The deadlift was supposed to be 325, and some of those guys are capable of 10 reps with that.
Yeah,
and they were getting 3 or 2. It was a very, very hard competition.
Yeah. Chaos Strength in the chat loved the UK's production and presentation. Wasn't a fan of the events.
We were just saying at the start, like the bar bending. I think it's a great event to do as an exhibition. It's a great event to do in a school or like doing a talk. Terrible event as a competition, and I think it was a terrible event to start with.
Yes, because it was just a bit of a slow event,
but it was great seeing it live, and I enjoyed some of the events.
Yeah, I like the events on paper. I think harnessing yourself on a truck pull should not be part of the timed aspect of the event. So
I think some real good positives. The timing was good. It kind of, because I was like, they might overrun or
I was a bit worried. Yeah, but they got it right.
I thought the having Radzi and Lalas and Jamie Reeves was really good.
Well, yeah.
The woman doing the interviews with the athletes, I thought was okay, but I genuinely think someone that actually, especially now, some of the women that are involved in our sport know a lot about the sport. I think that would be a better option. And that's nothing against the lady that was doing it. I just think we've got good people within the sport now
who are so knowledgeable.
They're knowledgeable. They're good at presenting. I think, why not give one of them an opportunity in that role? Because just understanding the sport helps a lot.
Yeah.
Otherwise, you're asking questions that fans are thinking, why are they asking that question?
And sometimes you can see that in the question, can't you? It's like, But there you go.
But genuinely, I thought it was great. I'm being nitpicky, but I enjoyed it.
Who impressed you the most over the weekend? Asked John, who was very excited to watch it live.
Well, I was really impressed to see Lewis Jack back and in good shape because Lewis was doing really well a couple of years ago. Obviously, picked up an injury.
Was it Sean Diver?
Diver, he was very good.
He was
Ireland.
really good.
Really, really good.
Yeah.
Andy Flynn is impressing me this year in general. He's really, stepping up. I just, Paul was great. Worthy winner.
Loz absolutely throwing Liz under the bus. I don't know even what the comment was there. Paddy took the mistake with the car roll with good humour. It's all you can do in the moment, isn't it? That, or people are going to say, "Well, what a sore loser,"
Paddy was great in his interview. I thought.
Yeah, he was really good, very classy. Paddy has a great attitude, says Jane. Been watching Paddy's farm videos.
Yeah.
He seems like a super sweet guy.
He is a good guy.
Loz and Liz, what's in your gym bags?
We should do a comparison.
So funny. Mine.
That's a good video. What's in your gym bags, isn't it?
It will be a short in my case, a YouTube short. Not much. Bottle of water, AirPods. I've got a belt and some straps, and that's
Have you ever taken them to the gym?
Yes, of course I have. How dare you? But I'm not sure what they are right now. El Prez Cat, thank you for the super chat. If you go to Strongest Man on Earth, will you pull short on the table?
I'm trying to convince him.
How strong is Colin Bryce? He's a big chap, it looks like. Get him to do a lift.
Colin's a strong guy. He's competed in Britain's Strongest Man before. He's actually done an event of World's Strongest Man. He stepped in for an athlete that ended up pulling out.
Was it 1998? It was
I don't think it was I think it was 97.
97.
It was the last event
and final. Yeah. They didn't want uneven numbers on the final event. So Colin just had to step in and go up against someone.
But Colin, when he was younger, was a strong athlete. And I'd call him an athlete. He wasn't like a powerhouse in terms of like gym lifts, but he was a good athlete. He was in the Olympic bobsleigh team. And he competed as a strongman. Probably would have been suited to like under 105 strongman. He's actually not a bad arm wrestler as well, Colin.
Yeah, interesting.
He's a strong guy. Certainly a lot stronger than the average person.
Yeah. Mark, same for the bar bend. I just wonder where on earth the athletes get practice bars to bend, and you only get one go with each.
Yeah, I've got some in my shed where I practiced with them for UKs when I did it. You just go and get them cut from a steel roll. But yeah, it's a one and done thing. You kind of you can't then unbend it and do it again.
Yeah. Radzi is the ideal interviewer. Remember the girl who interviewed athletes at World's Strongest Man in 2009? Bless her heart. I think that was Zoe Salmon, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Did she not do a good job?
she was good, but I think it's just better when someone knows about the sport.
It's really helpful.
And Radzi loves strongman, so he's very knowledgeable on it.
Yeah, it helps them dig a little deeper and ask more relevant, in-depth questions, doesn't it, when they understand the events and the athletes better.
Caroline Pierce was good because she made the effort to find out.
Yeah, she did, yeah.
Her trying to interview Benny after the deadlift.
During the deadlift? Was
Eddie.
Was after.
It was Eddie.
She tried
during.
Yeah, you're right. What did she say?
And then just walks off.
Dazed and confused. Oh, Glenn's waistcoat was certainly impressive. That was a spectacle in itself, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Oh. Liz's bag. Oxygen, check. TENS machine, check. Smelling salt. Do you know what the joke is? Loz did you used to have a TENS machine?
No, I had a
oh yeah.
Oh god, I can't even remember what it's called now.
Wasn't someone asking you once, like a client, oh Loz, what do you think about me getting a TENS machine? You were like, I think you need to man up.
Probably. Sounds like something I'd say.
It does sound like something you'd say. Sean, thank you for the super chat. Hey, any training bits coming up?
I keep trying to convince Liz to come and film me training.
Well, yeah, you've got to invite me properly.
Liz,
maybe we could on
officially
Saturday,
invited.
next Saturday, we could get some filming.
No, we're away.
Aren't you going to the gym?
We're away for our anniversary.
I know, but we're not far. We could go to the gym after. Maybe yes, maybe no.
If we're back in time, then yeah.
That's the next event, the bar unbend.
I think Radzi, Jamie, and Lallis were all great, and Lallis's arm looked damn huge.
Every time they popped up on screen, Loz like, Lallis's arm looks big. Lallis's arm.
It just looked massive.
I was like, shut up about Lallis's arm. There you go. The lady asking the questions was Gail Ems, who was a badminton player.
Yes, that's right.
Oh, Nicole, very generous. Thank you so much for gifting memberships.
Thank you.
Are the events for Strongman Classic announced yet? I don't believe so, Jessie. I don't believe so. We have to tread very carefully because I think it was Europe's Strongest Man last year. We were doing... we were doing a video.
You take the blame for this one.
I did take the blame for that one. We were doing a video. I think we were just doing the lineup. And then afterwards, I very casually just went through the list of events, not realizing they hadn't been announced. And like Giants Life was so nice about it. They were like, guys, and I was like, oh my God, I'm so sorry. Because obviously we're not trying to take the limelight away from them or, you know, diminish.
It's hard sometimes because giants do post a lot of, like, they've posted a lot of
stuff for the future.
Yeah, a lot of athletes for various different comps. And then they'll post events for comps. And it's hard to keep track.
I'm going to have a spreadsheet, I think. And yeah, like, you know, this competition. Yeah.
I can talk about these now.
Yes. I think that would be really helpful.
Darren or Colin are watching.
Yes.
Can you make Liz a tick box, please?
Make me a tick box. Oh dear.
Laurence is a good arm wrestler as well.
Yeah. Where are we? Very interested in the ifs a split video with all the yes. And you know what? One person I desperately want is Jamie, because Jamie was a real pinnacle part of it. And I don't know if he would. Jamie's a very no nonsense man, and if he's got something to say, he'll be like, "Yeah, I'll just say it." Like he's like that, isn't he?
Yeah.
So I'm hoping I could get him, but he's not someone we see very often at all. And I would really like to film in person rather than on a Zoom or something.
Sure.
To like kind of how we did. I don't know if you guys watched the Magnus video where he essentially commentated his own story because he just gave me so much. So I want it like that. Ah, dear. Another spreadsheet. I know, Julia. Another damn spreadsheet. There we go. Right, it's been over an hour. Shall we log off?
There we go. We'll call it a night for this one. Hope you guys have enjoyed it as much as we have. It's been fun.
Yes.
Someone just wanted a video for the best comebacks.
Not someone, that's Kelly.
That's Kelly.
Yeah. Best comebacks after injury.
Yeah.
That's a good idea, Kelly.
Yeah.
We'll add it to the list. So we've got powerlifting style totals for strongman.
You can add it to your list.
And I'm going to add it to my list. And best comebacks after injury. Very good. There we go.
Right, guys, have an amazing week. We've got a few videos coming out this week. And then we've got our anniversary Friday.
Yes.
So probably no videos Friday or Saturday.
I don't know. I'm going to have one scheduled.
On schedule.
Okay.
Yeah. Right. We'll be back next Sunday with a live. Have an amazing week, guys, and we'll catch you soon. Take care.
Smile and wave. Keep smiling. Keep waving.